Hi you guys! Right now I am doing something a little bit different with my lighting. I actually changed out the color of some of my light bulbs so they're a little bit cooler because I noticed my videos have been looking a little bit warm and not quite as true to color as they should be. And trying to do color correction post-process and editing when I'm editing everything is very, very difficult, and you can do a tiny bit of color correction, but still things never come out quite as true to life as they are. So it looks like I have my color pretty good right now, so let me know what you guys think, if you think this looks better, because sometimes I can be a bit biased, especially if I'm staring at a screen for like 12 hours. Things start changing colors. So let me know if you guys like the color of this video and how it looks. That way I know that it looks good and you guys think it looks good. But anyway, lately I've been needing to change up a few things. Again, change up my lighting, and I also needed to change up the way that I wash my brushes because it was taking way, way, way too long. I have quite a few brushes, and previously the way I was washing all my brushes was with my hand and scrubbing the bristles against my hand. Now, when you're washing brushes for 20 or 30 minutes, your hand actually starts going numb and tingly, and it feels really weird and really uncomfortable. I've seen a couple different ideas here and there. I've seen the automatic brush washers. They don't work very well, and frankly, I like being able to get in there and do it manually. I don't mind that. But I needed a way so I wasn't rubbing it against my hand. I've seen the mitts and they look fine, but again, that's on my hand. So I kind of went on a search. I've seen a few people use these before. I can't credit anyone specific because I've seen a bunch of people mention these, but they're trivets or pot holders. In this case, it's a trivet, not a pot holder, made out of silicone. Let me show you guys. Mine is still damp from washing my brushes this morning, so I could show you guys, but this is what it looks like. It's just a square silicone trivet, and it has this circle pattern all over it. This circle pattern is, I'd say, about half a centimeter so deep in here, so it's really nicely textured, and that is excellent. First up, where I got this, I looked everywhere for these things. I couldn't find it at Walmart. I couldn't find it at, where did I check? I checked the dollar store, I checked Walmart, couldn't find it. Went to Target. Of course, Target had them in the kitchen section. $4. Not bad at all. They had red and gray, and I grabbed red, and I grabbed red specifically so that I can see colors when it comes off onto here. First up, I want to let you guys know these are, they're cheap, they're affordable, they're also heat resistant up to 500 degrees. At least this one is, check yours. So for me, this is multi-purpose. I can use this for my curling iron, my flat iron. If I'm filming a video in here where I'm using some sort of hot tool, I can lay it down on here and don't have to worry about accidentally scorching my desk, which would not be good. The other thing I found out this is good for was actually kind of a surprise. I was thinking about how good these are for washing your brush and how it gets in and really helps get the soap in and all of that. And I was like, wait a minute, I wonder if something like this could be used as a color remover, because you know how you can buy the tins that have basically the little mesh, almost like the little mesh things in them that are almost like the same things that you use to put your hair up in a bun, the little mesh bun makers. Well, people are using the same material, putting it in tins and using it to remove color from their brushes in between colors. So, you know, you put on a blue eyeshadow, you can swirl it around in this thing, get all the color off, and then put on your transition shade or whatever. And I thought, wait a minute, could this be used for it? And yes, actually, and it works beautifully. So I just tried it dry with a couple of brushes, as you guys can see here. I just ran the brushes across it, circular pattern, and all the color came out of the brushes. This is absolutely brilliant because I can have this sitting on my desk in front of me while I'm doing my makeup, while I'm doing tutorials, or even if I'm getting ready in the morning really, really fast. I like to do a lot of looks where I only use one or two brushes. So all I have to do is swirl that color off of that brush really quick, and then I can keep going. And the awesome thing is that I can either hand wash this or it's dishwasher safe, so I can throw this in my dishwasher. I have no issue with putting something I use for makeup in with my dishes because I keep my makeup stuff as sanitary as possible, so I have no issue with that, and my dishwasher does like super hot sanitizing. But if you have an issue with that, you can still hand wash it, but I thought that was really cool. And it being double-sided, you don't have to wash it every single time you use it. You have quite a good amount of real estate. I mean, this thing's about the size of my head, so. All right, moving on to how I wash my brushes. Using this has made a huge difference. So my favorite thing to use when washing brushes is baby shampoo. Pretty much any kind of baby shampoo. I've used Johnson's. Here I have Aveeno because honestly it's what was in my bathroom. I've used a couple different things, baby shampoo. I also use bars of baby soap, work really well too. But baby shampoo is one of the best, most gentlest things in my opinion. So what I like to do is place my trivet down in the sink. I like having it so that it's not over the stopper. I like it off to the side for two reasons. One, it doesn't block the flow of water as I'm rinsing out brushes. And two, I can put a strip of soap along the top and the water won't wash it off until I'm ready to rinse it off. So I place the trivet in there, get the warm water going, and I place a strip of soap at the top of the trivet. Wet my brush, dab it into the soap, and start rubbing it around. Once it looks like all the color's coming off onto the trivet, it's really easy to see, then I just stick it under the water, rinse it out. So what I do after that is I like to gently press the water out of the bristles while reshaping it. And I make sure that what I do is I take a towel and I put the edge of the towel up onto the edge of my sink since I have a raised up sink. The other thing you can do is roll once I have the towel up. You never want to hold your brushes like this with the bristles up because water will drip down into the ferrule. That's the middle part. That will ruin your brush. It will cause your bristles to fall out. If you have wood handled brushes, it will trash the handles, do all kinds of bad things, make your brushes rust, things like that. So what I like to make sure to do is have my brushes so that they're drying at an angle. So the part of the towel that's up on my sink or rolled up is here. The handle part of my brush is here, and the bristles are down here. That way all the water is running down and not into the handle of my brush. Now that is tricky for double-ended brushes. So for double-ended brushes, I squeeze as much water as possible and then I lay them flat to dry. This shampoo that I used, I did have to add a little bit more a few times because it's thicker and more gentle, so it doesn't suds quite as much as the Johnson shampoo, and I really wanted to make sure everything was getting as clean as possible. While I was doing this, I was comparing this method using the trivet to when I was using my hand, and this is so much faster. Using the trivet went so much faster, so much easier. I probably got all my brushes and my beauty blender done in about 10 to 15 minutes, which is so much quicker because normally it takes me at least 20 to 25 minutes. And those extra few minutes really do add up when you're standing there and all you're doing is washing brushes. So I also want to show you guys how I wash my beauty blender. Very simple. I don't use the beauty blender cleanser or any of that. I use the exact same thing I use for everything else, and that is the baby shampoo. Now this beauty blender, I know you're supposed to replace it every few months. I have had mine for almost a year now. It's not gross. There's no bacteria in it. It's completely sanitized and clean because I take such good care of it. I make sure it's nice and wet, and then I add a ton of soap. And I go in and you can see the motions I'm using. I'm just working the soap into the beauty blender and then back out with all that product. You have to do this probably 3 or 4 times at a minimum and keep rinsing. If you see a spot that still has makeup in it, go back, add more soap, and start working in that area with your thumb, just working it into the sponge. Now this is why I don't get the nude or the black color beauty blenders, is because I want to be able to see that I got all the makeup out. So for me, the pink is perfect for that. Also, rinse it very, very, very well. If you leave soap in your beauty blender, one, it's going to attract bacteria. Soap is a sticky substance, and even though it cleans things, it also attracts things. So you always want to make sure that you rinse your beauty blender out until you have nothing but aerated water coming out of that beauty blender when you're rinsing it. And then squeeze the crap out of that thing to make sure you have all the soap out of it. This is how mine looks when it's clean. It looks practically brand new because I take the time and really take care of it and really clean it. So I think I covered everything. Just so you guys know, my brushes take almost a full day to dry. So I typically will wash them after I do my makeup in the morning. I will go in, I will wash them, set them out to dry. They'll hang out and dry on my bathroom counter, and then next morning they are ready, and all I have to do is give them a quick fluff with my fingertips and they are ready to go to do my makeup that day. So if you guys have any questions about how I wash my brushes, what I use, any suggestions for products you've used to clean brushes that you've really liked, let me know down in the comments below. You know I love hearing from you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. You can also keep up with me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. I am pretty much everywhere, and all the links for those are down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!